Good day, everyone. In this part of the discussion, we have the tourism development. Under the tourism development is the tourism area life cycle. So there are 7 stages of the tourism area life cycle, which is published by the Canadian geographer Richard Butler in 1980. The tourism area life cycle model describes a recognizable cycle of tourism areas development, which is divided into 6 specific stages. Before going down to the 7 stages of tourism area life cycle, let's have first the origin. So the TLC's origins are based on the idea that resorts are essentially products. They have normally been developed and modified to meet the need of specific markets or the holiday makers in a similar way to the production of other goods and services. Thus, the author made the assumption that resorts would follow a generally similar pattern of development to that of most other products. The said pattern here is based on the product life cycle model, where the sales history of a product follows an S-shaped asymptotic curve over time. Similarly, the development of a tourist area takes the shape of the same curve than the PLC model, where the sales are replaced by the number of tourists. So the tourism area life cycle model covers 6 stages of evolution of a tourism area, namely the exploration, involvement, development, consolidation, stagnation, and decline or rejuvenation. In addition to the number of tourists, the author identifies a set of characteristics, including spatial and economic features to allow the distinctions between the different stages. The TALC stages are described as follows according to Butler of 1980. First, we have the exploration stage. This initial stage is characterized by a few adventurous tourists which discover the destination attracted by natural or cultural aspects. So, here in exploration stage, people only explore, so it's more on discovery. There are no specific facilities provided for tourists, and the interaction with locals is likely to be high. So at this stage, the social and economic impact of the visitors is of relatively little significance. So after the exploration stage comes the involvement stage. So what happened in involvement stage? As the number of visitors increases and achieves some regularity, local residents starts providing facilities for tourists. As this stage progresses, some advertisement to attract potential visitors can be anticipated, and a basic initial market area for visitors can be defined. So some level of organization in tourist travel arrangement can be expected, and the first pressures put upon governments and public agencies to provide or improve transport and other facilities for visitors. So basically, in involvement stage, they provided the facilities, the government or the public agencies starting to involve themselves into marketing the place when they see as much as there is tourists coming in the area. So after exploring or discovering and the involvement, of course, here comes the development stage. This stage reflects a well-defined tourist market area with an important increase of the number of tourists, which may exceed the local population. So the local involvement and control over the accommodation services rapidly declines, and external organizations start providing more sophisticated tourism facilities and attractions. In this stage, changes in the physical appearance of the tourist destination will be noticeable, which can be expected to irritate the local population. In the development stage, we can see many establishments already and introduced many activities that will possibly irritate the local populations, and we can also expect high-rise hotels, resorts, and many other things that has been developed. The next is the consolidation. At this stage, tourism becomes tied to the area's economy. The rate of increase in number of visitors slows down, but the total number of tourists exceeds the local population. So major tourism chains and franchises are represented. In this stage, opposition and discontent of local residents can be expected toward the tourism activity, especially for the ones not involved in the tourist industry. So the number 5 is the stagnation stage. So from the word itself, it became stagnant, which means it just remained stay still, because the carrying capacity of the destination is reached or exceeded and negative environmental, social, and economic impacts are observed. The destination's image is well established but runs out of fashion. A heavy reliance on repeat visitation will be observed, and strenuous efforts will be required to maintain the level of visitation. Imported artificial attractions are likely to replace natural and cultural attractions, and the resort image becomes divorced from its geographical environment. New development of the tourism activity will be peripheral to the original tourism area, and a frequent change of ownership of properties is likely to occur. So, stagnation stage happens when the tourists started to get bored. So, what the owner will do, or the manager will do, is to introduce many other things, and if that happens, the natural and cultural attractions and the resort's image will be replaced and becomes divorced. Wherein, if it's not managed well, this could possibly lead to the decline stage. This stage is characterized by a heavy decrease in the number of visitors as the destination is unable to compete with newer attractions. A frequent closure of touristic facilities transformed to non-tourist related structures will be observed. The destination could attract weekend and day trippers if it has a large infrastructure and is accessible to a large number of people. Local residents are likely to get involved in the tourism activity at this time by acquiring tourist facilities which become more affordable. Or, of course, the tourist destination can have the rejuvenation stage. Rejuvenation, which means instead of letting it fall down, might as well fix it or rejuvenate. A destination can avoid the decline stage and enter the rejuvenation stage. This could be realized by developing artificial attractiveness, such as casinos, or by using a previously unused natural resources and creating a new tourist market. Under the relaunch or rejuvenation are the product-led or market-led. So what does this means? So product-led or market-led, this is where either the tourist destination choose to focus more on the product-led, or what are the other products, new products that they can introduce or that they can create to attract many tourists that will not bore them up. And or the market-led change how they market their tourist destination, how they may attract the tourists into coming to the area. However, these stages of the tourism area life cycle has been criticized on numerous occasions, and its applicability was often questioned, mainly due to its simplicity, which makes it difficult to distinguish between the different above-mentioned stages. In addition, the concept of carrying capacity, which is critical in determining a destination stage of development, has also been criticized and often judged as imprecise and vague, as it depends on what is being examined and could refer to the physical capacity, the environmental or psychological capacities of a destination only. Though, despite all the criticisms and the limitations of tourism area life cycle, it has proven to be a useful tool in interpreting the stage of evolution of already established destinations and provides a valuable conceptual framework to decision making. It is the main diagnosis aid and is relevant as the first port of call for any serious analysis of a particular tourist area. So here is the perfect graphical sample of the evolution of a tourism development at the destination, from discovery to local control to institutionalism, stagnation, rejuvenation, until decline. In marketing a tourist destination, it's very important to have a destination branding, or also called the place marketing. Places are potentially the world's biggest brands. For example, the Eiffel Tower. When we mention Eiffel Tower, what comes first in our mind is the Paris. When we mention the Burj Khalifa, comes first in our minds is Dubai. And of course, in developing a brand identity, it must be strong and eye-catchy and is easy to remember. In destination branding, there is a destination celebrity matrix. Shown here are the potential stars, celebrities, losers, and the problem places. And on the left side, it has the emotional pool, which either be high or low, and below is the celebrity value, which at times also becomes low or high. Destination branding helps establish an identity. So destination brand is equals to identity. This makes the customers identify or remember your business. So how to make destination branding? First step is to investigate the destination's potential, then research the benefits and market investigation, establish the brand's core values, build an emotional link, and appeal to tourists' self-image and lifestyle. There are also challenges to consider upon creating destination branding. These challenges are this could be multidimensional, living diverse and dynamic community, trying to appeal to all types of consumers, lack of control over 4Ps, limited budget, politics of decisions, and in creating differentiation or points of difference. So here are some examples of destination branding. Here we have the strong national or city brands. Which of these are the Israel, Spain, Ireland, Dubai, Sydney, London, and its brand elements as trademarkable devices to differentiate the brand. These cities already developed a strong brand identity, which makes it easier for them to market or advertise if they create or introduce new products to the customers. Thank you for listening. Have a great day, everyone.